Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for Jay. I'm Buddy Fry, and let's queer up the USA view. Texas judge blocks Rainbow Lounge marker citing, quote, unnecessary controversy. In Fort Worth, Texas, a long-awaited effort to honor LGBTQ+ history has hit a political roadblock. For over a year, activists have worked hard to install an official historical marker at the site of the former Rainbow Lounge, a gay bar that became infamous after a violent police raid in 2009. That raid, which happened on the 40th anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, left one man hospitalized with brain bleed and another with broken ribs. The incident sparked outrage and reform, leading to new anti-discrimination laws and mandatory diversity training in Fort Worth. Yet, despite the city's approval of the marker, Republican Tarrant County Judge Tim O'Hare has halted the process. In a letter to the Texas Historical Commission, O'Hare claimed the application skipped proper review from the county's historical body. That claim has been challenged by former Historical Commission Chair Coletta Strickland, who has said, quote, there was nothing untoward or out of the ordinary that was done for this application. O'Hare, however, insisted the marker would cause unnecessary controversy. His chief of staff went further, saying, quote, O'Hare opposes glorifying radical gender ideology and drag performances. People visit public spaces for recreation and relaxation, often with their children. As the vast majority of our nation agrees, transgenderism should not be pushed onto our children, end quote. LGBTQ historian Todd Camp, who leads the group Yesterqueer, had spearheaded the marker project after giving a presentation on queer Fort Lauderdale history. Now the fate of the Rainbow Lounge Memorial remains uncertain. To date, Texas has over 16,000 historical markers, yet only one officially honors the LGBTQ history. Well, I mean, it's obvious from the statements of both the judge and his staff, they're focused on transgenderism and on the perversion aspects that the gay community supposedly has. And that's pretty sad, considering that I'm sure we can find multiple moments of sexual abuse and sexual problems in the straight community in Texas, especially Texas, geez, you know? I just hope that the community in Texas and Yesterqueer stay strong and just, you know, keep taking inch by inch back to what we can do. I mean, yeah. I don't know how much clout the judge has in the process, but I'm hoping the process has more clout than the judge.
Exactly. You know, this whole thing about them saying we push it on kids. Listen, I was 4 years old and they were calling me sissy and faggot. Okay? And I knew at a very young age that I wasn't like the other little boys. There's no pushing. We are born this way.
Of course.
You know, but they try to act like we're like, you know, targeting children and trying to like have them join the LGBTQ community. And that is not the reality. You know, another thing is too, we fought so hard to get the little bit of rights. And when I say we, I'm talking about the whole LGBTQ community. We get a little rights, and then these far-right conservatives, and even some of the conservatives, they're like, oh, we've taken it too far now. Oh, we got to rein them back in. Oh, what's going to happen to our society? Trans people make up 1% of the human race. I mean, come on. They really, to me, I look at them as evil and vile, because whether you agree with what we are, who we are, how we love, or how we feel, we are human beings first and foremost.
And we feel the need to make this offense. It's self-offensive because we're talking about a historical landmark. Right. This is a place. Right. This is a place where people met. It happened. It's part of history. Yeah. It's there. This is not a controversy to say, here was an important place to some people. That's not an
But it's
issue.
also marking the damage done, the riot itself at this moment in time.
This is not a good time for history. Nobody likes history.
Oh yeah, no.
what I mean?
Nobody likes particular types of history.
Right.
LGBTQ history, African American history.
Right.
Let's try and erase all of it.
Exactly.
But guess what? You can't.
You can't do it.
Because we have our mouths.
Right.
And we will tell our children. You know, like there's no way to erase what the atrocities that happened. You know, but that's what they want to do.
And I don't want bigotry pushed on me.
Yeah,
I don't want your bigotry pushed on me
exactly.
or our kids. My kid's old and up to all kinds of debauchery himself now. But I don't. I don't want your bigotry. I don't want your brand of religion. I mean, you can tell me about it. Maybe I'll like it and want to have some. But I don't want it pushed on me. I don't want to be threatened by it. I don't want to be demeaned by it. I grew up watching prostitutes on TV, didn't become one. I grew up watching cops on TV, didn't become one. I grew up watching Catholics and Jews
Yeah.
Well, I started out as one. I didn't become the other. But you know what I mean. So I mean, like I saw bigots on TV. They were pushing what they were doing. Were pushing stories, and they weren't pushing anything.
Yes.
And so my existence is a pushing thing. I don't have to hide it. I don't have to lie about it, and I even get to celebrate it every once in a while. That's not pushing shit on anybody of any age. And so I'm just tired of the bullshit narrative. And so Texans, I lived in Texas for 10 years. I lived in Dallas, Texas for 10 years. I'm still in therapy. But actually, I came from Arkansas, so it was a step up. But I couldn't go back. But no, I know the mindset. I know there's that the fundamentalism and the far right political politics about it's all in the water, it's all in the air. But I also know LGBTQ people are human. LGBTQ people are part of history. LGBTQ people have rights, and this is actually, you said it, evil. It is nefarious.
Yes,
it is diabolical.
It is.
It is.
LGBTQ people will continue to be here because they don't realize that we are a part of nature.
Yeah.
We're a product, so we will continue to be born.
The children who are not safe are queer kids.
Exactly.
You know, like how many people are bullied or hid to not be bullied or lied to not be bullied or became very aggressive to not be bullied or just got bullied.
Yes.
The queer kids.
And the hypocrisy, because you will talk about drag queens and not exposing our children to drag queens, but you'll take them to a football game with the cheerleaders with hardly anything on, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, the hypocrisy.
Right.
So listen, I can go on, and I'm getting heated, and I don't want, to mess up my makeup, so I'm going to be quiet.
I want you to read. I want you to read all of Texas, especially Tarrant County. I know exactly what it is. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.